Reference Implementation implements the unsolicited attachment workflow that we described in CDex. So we're going to start here on our main page with the Submit Unsolicited Attachment button. Click on that. And so the first thing we need to do is we're going to have a context with the patient here. And so we have some prepackaged in here, some tracking control numbers. And so we'll go ahead and use one of these already pre-existing ones. You can also click this button and add your own if you want. You have to preload that data so the claim exists in the FHIR server. So we're just going to use one of the prepackaged ones here. So we have this claim ID. We're going to create a task. We're going to create a parameters resource. The provider is creating a parameters resource and is going to submit those using the operation, the submit attachments operation, back to the payer. When you select the date here, we have to select whether it's a claim or a prior authorization. So we'll just call this a claim. We'll go ahead and it's already claimed, so it already pre-selected that for us. We'll pick the date. We'll make that today. It could be any date. Link attachment code. So this is going to be using attachment codes here. And the link attachments, there's about 100 of them, so we'll pick one here. Let's go with we'll go with a progress note or something like that. Let's see what we got here. A progress note. So we'll use that as our attachment code. So what's happening here is the provider is submitting a progress note to a payer for a claim, and they're setting it a prior. In other words, they've been prearranged through some rule or some other thing that they know they need to send this. There's no explicit request. This is unsolicited. All right, we'll select an attachment to submit. Excuse me. So we're going to click this button right here. It's going to go to your local directory, and it's going to pick a attachment to submit. Now, in the kind of attachments that the reference implementation currently supports are either text files, XML files, or JPEG files. And I think the text file part is right. I think so. We're going to look for a couple. We're going to start with a PDF. So a PDF or an XML file, which is basically a CCDA document. Let's see. We have a progress note right here. And let's just open it up and we'll see what that looks like. Quick look. Oh yeah, okay. Progress note, lazy cat, so that'll work. Right now we're not really validating the content. We're just trying to demonstrate the transaction here. So we do have that one. Let's go ahead and submit that one. So we hit submit attachment. We're going to stick with our default endpoint. If you have your own payer FHIR server endpoint you want to use, you certainly can use that. We're going to use the default reference implementation server to submit this attachment to. So now what we're doing here is we're creating a parameters resource, and we're using the submit. So here's our parameters resource, and here you can see we've taken that document, we've turned it into a binary file that is basically a base64 binary, so a lot of characters there. We have all the other information in here for the metadata as well as the attachment, and then we're going to send that over to the payer. The payer gets it, and they successfully created a document reference in their FHIR server, and they send back an operation outcome saying, hey, we got this, we found the claim, and everything's kosher. So they actually attach this to a claim. Sometimes attachments do not get there after a claim. They get there before, at the same time as a claim. And so that may say, we're waiting for the claim. But in this case, the claim's already there, so it's been attached. And then here's an example. This is not in CDex, by the way, but this is an example of a FHIR claim resource where if you look in here and inspect this closely, you'll find that the document's been attached. That document reference has been attached to the claim. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, so that is a transaction as described in CDex for unsolicited attachments. It's basically a simple operation where you submit this parameters resource, which includes the attachment data.